Hey guys, who's ready to get fired up in a good way? Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. We are back again. We are here for you for another video. I hope that you're having a great day so far. I wanted to make this video because we have had such a weird week in sports cards and collectibles in general. And while, of course, we have to report the bad news along with the good news, any sort of hobby news, we're going to talk about it here because we don't want to come across disingenuous. We're not going to just sit here and talk about it's all rainbows and butterscotch. Is that a thing? I don't know. It's not cupcakes and rainbows all the time. Sometimes there's going to be weird stuff that goes on, bad things, and we need to talk about that too. But here today, I'm here to refocus. We're going to get centered, find our chi, and I want to talk about sports cards in general and how baseball cards, let's not forget, baseball cards are an American institution. Let me say that again. Baseball cards are an American institution.
The real spirit of baseball card collecting lies in the older cards. We get involved in cards from the 1910 era on through the present time, but we specialize in the 1910 through the 1970s. And we feel that a good representative area of that is the Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Duke Snider, and in my case, my favorite are the old Brooklyn Dodgers.
So when you see kind of this, the ups and downs and the weird stuff, and the weird players in the hobby and all the stupid stuff.
Video that you see and body camera footage giving us new insight into why 5 grown men were fighting over trading cards outside the Brookfield Target.
The real truth of the matter is if we're going all the way back in time, if we're going back to Jefferson Burdick, if I've got the name right, Ryan McClanahan, and Jefferson Burdick being kind of the first baseball card collector, I think we could say that. And what he and his colleagues, his friends started has led us here today. And I think that we don't need to lose sight of that. We can't lose sight of the community, the prestige that comes along with this hobby. This hobby is something special. What's great about trading cards, sports cards, non-sports cards, there's a story behind a lot of this stuff. There's a nostalgia factor that's going back. And something that's really cool is, when I was first collecting, it was late 80s, early 90s, junk wax era time frame. And the thing that's been so cool about getting back into the hobby 30 years later is that the hobby actually didn't stop while I was away. It kept on going. And actually, there was some really cool stuff produced that I'm trying to figure out, trying to learn about, trying to get my hands on and all this stuff. So when I was in it in 1990, it was one way. And in some ways, it was just kind of getting going. And then, of course, it kind of ended, it halted, it kind of, faded out in 94, 95 after some overproduction issues, some other things. But it keeps on going. And I know nobody wants to hear the hobby is smarter, but the hobby doesn't necessarily have to be smarter. We're just in it. We're just in it. And sometimes you make good buys, bad buys. It doesn't even matter because we're all in this thing together. We're all battling and trying to find good deals and trying to, make good plays or whatever. But in the end, it goes back to our childhood days. It goes back when we were 8, 9, 10 years old. The first, memories that we have getting into cards, maybe it was family members, maybe it was buddies in the neighborhood. For me in particular, my buddy Alan on Chippewa Street in Panama City, Florida, and Callaway, 1988. I remember riding up to the gas station, getting Big League Chew, getting packs of Donruss baseball. I remember going on to Tyndall Air Force Base and getting, going to the shop at, getting an RC Cola Moon Pie and 89 Hoops basketball, 89 Pro Set football. And that is the meat and potatoes behind all of this stuff. So, of course, there's big business that follows when you have success, when you have, a hobby that's ballooning out, and it is going to become mainstream again. And the reason why I know that, the reason why I feel it and I know it is because of the simple fact that Fanatics is taking over, and Fanatics has paid an exorbitant amount of money to get in and play this game, to be in the trading card game. And whether we like it, don't like it, it doesn't really matter. What's going to happen is they are going to put trading cards into the spotlight, into the mainstream. It's already kind of getting there, but I don't believe this is going to be a niche hobby for much longer. I don't think that this is kind of like the couple of years during, the pandemic and it ballooned and then it goes back to normal, or we found a new floor on some things, but then it goes back to normal and we're just, it's just all the collectors left. No, I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a big, big deal. And I think that it's going to be in stadiums. I think it's going to be a big part of broadcasts. I want to see Fleer Ultra commercials again. Who doesn't?
We're working overtime on the premiere of Fleer Ultra NBA basketball cards with tons of white-hot action, marbleized borders, 3D graphics, gold foil stamping.
I think there's a tidal wave of this stuff that's coming. And whether you're in it, not in it, whether you're still in the hobby at that point, when things kind of really kind of kick off, I think over the next few years, when Fanatics really kind of takes over and gets going here, it doesn't matter, because the one thing I learned is the 25 years I was away, the hobby kept on going without me. It kept on going. And then I came back in and it was like, all right, there's a lot of really cool things going on, and there's a lot more cool things coming down the line. So yes, we have had a weird week of news, no doubt. There is no doubt. Frankly, we've had probably, 3 months, 6 months, a year full of kind of some strange stuff. None of it really being new. There's always been kind of, bad times and bad things and bad actors and blah, blah, blah. But I am here to say that I am extremely optimistic about this hobby in particular, because there's so many different facets of it. And I know it because I've never had more friends in my life than getting back into the hobby and starting a YouTube channel and building off of that and really kind of getting to know people and, the great people that I've met and learned from. It's all great. It's fantastic, so for you, if you're new here to this thing and you're just kind of getting in, maybe you're hearing about some of the weird news going on, don't fret. There are a lot of really, really good people in this hobby, and you will find a place, and there's a lot of really good things going on. So stick with it. Find kind of your tribe, find your niche, find your crowd in here, but there's a lot of really good people. So, guys, stick around. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Throw something in the comments that you love about this hobby. Tell a story. Give me something, a local card show, a local card shop. Tell me about a relationship you've got with somebody in the hobby that's, ways that sports cards change your life for the better, because everybody's got a story and a lot of people have some really cool stories. So let me know. Guys, have an amazing rest of your day. We've got playoff football. Let's get focused. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.